Hello, women helping women entrepreneurs. Hi, coming to you live. It is Sunday afternoon. My name is Stacey Russell. I am just going to wait one moment and make sure that I see myself pop up on my phone in this group, making sure that this live is broadcasting. If you happen to be joining me, go ahead and say hello. I'd love to know where you are watching from, where you are coming in from, and I'm going to get started in just a moment. You are here at my little class that is scheduled for today, Sunday at 3 p.m. called Get More Yeses, and I'm going to be talking about your discovery calls or your consults, the free calls that you may offer in your business if you are a coach, a creative, or a service-oriented entrepreneur. I'm just going to triple check that I see myself coming on live in this group, making sure that I'm in the right place. And like I said, if you see me in here, please go ahead and say hi so that I have a little confirmation that I know that this is going live in the Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs group. I'm not seeing it yet, but I will probably start talking just to make sure. Oh, there I am. Okay, I am live in this group. So, hello and welcome. My name is Stacey Russell. I am a mindset and business strategy coach, and I support coaches, creatives, and I call it entrepreneurial thought leaders and service-oriented entrepreneurs that are really the helpers in the world, right? So I help everybody that is waking up every day and wanting to help others, whether it's heal, have a better life, be more healthy, have more success in their businesses. But what you do is that you are service oriented. So I came in today to do a little class about discovery calls. And the reason why I decided to do this class is because I talk to all of my clients every single day, as well as hear and see what people are commenting or asking about, or in sometimes complaining about in some of the Facebook groups or other communities that I'm in. And one of the number one things that I hear coaches and creatives and individuals who offer services that I call are more esoteric, right? Where what you do is all about how you connect with somebody else and show up in a very customized way for that individual. So you're not necessarily selling a product that is physical and tangible and that is easy to describe. Someone can't feel it and touch it and look at it and decide whether or not they want it. But the way that you create your clients is that you are needing to connect with them and to be in conversation, to build some know, like, and trust with them, and ultimately to have the kind of conversations that lead to that person really feeling and believing that if they were to partner with you to invest in the service that you provide, that they will get what it is that they are looking for, the transformation, the outcome that they're not able to get on their own. And usually when you are a service-oriented entrepreneur, or you're a coach, or you're a creative, there's a lot of trust involved in that person saying yes. So if you are watching this, you're watching this on the replay, if you're here with me live, I see a few eyeballs. If you are here, please go ahead and say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. I love the fact that this audience potential is 500,000 women from anywhere in the world, and this is the first time that I'm coming live in this group. I do lives all the time in my own group and on my own pages, and I am taking advantage of this incredible opportunity to connect with as many of you as possible. So if you are watching, please go ahead and say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. If you are watching the replay, put a hashtag replay in the comments and say hi and let me know where you were watching from. And we are going to talk about today, I am going to be talking about how to get more yeses on your discovery calls or consults. So I recently had a conversation with a coach who said, hi from Arizona. Hi, Nisha. I recently had a conversation with a coach who I was talking to about working together, and we got on the call, and one of the things that she told me she wanted to work on with a coach, because that's one of the things that I always ask about, was she wanted me to teach her how to coach around objections. And she told me that she has her discovery calls, and that at the end of these calls, they always end up in someone saying that they can't afford her services, so I can't afford it, or that they have an I have to think about it, or well, that sounds great, but maybe, not right now, I'm really busy and I can't really do it right now, but like maybe sometime later. So if you're watching this and you do offer a free call in your business and you hear that people can't afford your services, or that they have to think about it, or that it all sounds really wonderful, but they're not really ready or willing to kind of take it on or invest in it at this moment, go ahead and put a number 1 in the comments. So all you have to do is hit the number 1 key and let me know if this is resonating with you. I hear this all the time, but this one particular conversation struck me because what that let me know was that this coach was wanting to gear herself up and prepare for her a really important conversations. I mean, if you're a coach or someone who offers, as I've been saying, a service that is not just like a product, or you're not offering like a group program that has like a big sales page, but you're really creating one-on-one clients, and if you're at a point in your business where you haven't had a lot of one-on-one clients yet, I hope that is what you're focusing on, and that you're not giving up on one-on-one clients and thinking that the solution is a group program or a product or a course, because you're going to come up against the same issues. When you're starting your business, the first thing that you want to be able to do to get your business going is create your one-on-one clients before you start trying to do other things. And so conversations with individuals are the most important thing for you to be focusing on if you want to be creating clients. So that's why I pay so much attention in my coaching, in my business, in all the programs that I create on conversations, because one-on-one clients, when you are a coach or a creative or a service-oriented entrepreneur, are created through conversations. And one of the things that you need to master in your business is having conversations that convert to paying clients. And there's an art to it, and that's what I'm here to talk about today. So Sharon put a number 1, saying, yeah, she hears I can't afford it, or I have to think about it, or wow, and this is something I hear all the time too, wow, it sounds so great, you sound so great, but I'm just too busy right now and I have to, do it some other time, it's not really the right time. So I said to this coach that I heard this from, well, what if I could teach you how to get more yeses rather than coaching you now on objections? Because if we spend a lot of time on me helping you coach someone who has already said, I can't afford it, or maybe later, or I have to think about it, then that means you're going into your calls anticipating that that's going to be the outcome of the call. So I'm very curious if this has clicked, anything for you, or if you had a light bulb moment with the idea of going into your calls, going into your important conversations with a potential client, and your energy and mindset is already that you want to be prepared for the fact that you're already anticipating that they're going to say, I can't afford it, or I have to think about it, or maybe some other time when things ease up, or when I can get myself together to have this incredible experience with you. So what I wanted to talk about today is what are all of the reasons why I think you may be getting the I can't afford it, or the I have to think about it, or the maybe at another time because you sound so great, and talk about why you may be getting that and what you can do to hopefully start to change that and get more yeses. So if you're just joining me, I see a few more eyeballs. Hello, my name is Stacey Russell. I'm a mindset and business strategy coach for coaches, creatives, and service-oriented entrepreneurs. And this little mini class for today is called Getting More Yeses. And it's all about how to go from getting flat out no's, right? No thank yous or whatever other objections you get on your calls, to getting yeses from the people that you are meant to be working with so that you can be out in the world doing your meaningful work, helping more people, creating more clients, generating more revenue, having impact, right? And being successful. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and let's move on to a number 2. Put a number 2 in the comments if you're ready to hear. And if you're watching replay, you can do #replay and still put a number 2, because I will be, I always go back and look at comments and I can reply to you. And if you have any comments anytime during this class, please feel free to make a comment and just say whatever you want to say, any thoughts, and I'm going to be really excited to respond to you, even if it's on the replay. So, number 1, one of the reasons why you may be getting no's on your calls is that you don't like having sales calls. So I hear all the time from heart-centered, service-oriented entrepreneurs. I coach coaches and yoga teachers and helpers and healers and creatives and people just like myself. I was a professional actress. I was on Broadway when I was little. Then I was a yoga teacher. I owned a yoga studio, and then I became a life and health and mindset coach. And now I'm a business strategy coach that includes all of the mindset and the life coaching and the health coaching in the work that I do with the people that I help. And I know what it's like to be someone who thinks that sales are, you don't want to come off as pushy, or you don't want to come off as sleazy or icky when you're a real helper and a heart-centered person. And so many of the people that I support don't like having calls that they think are going to be perceived as sales calls. And if you don't like having calls that involve you having to make an offer and tell somebody what it's going to cost, what the investment is for them to work with you and for you to be able to help them, then that's an energy that you are bringing into your calls. And I'm not going to say it's 100% of the reason why you may get no's or objections or the other person having a hesitation, but it's a big part of it. So number 1 reason that people get no's on their calls is that they go into the call already not liking sales calls, or being uncomfortable, or feeling like it's not my thing, I'm not good at it, and having that mindset, and that affects the outcome of your calls. It can literally sabotage the outcome of your call. And Sharon says that she doesn't relish the sales calls. So my goal is for all of the people that I support, and I don't only mean my paying clients, but I mean right here in this community, I'm supporting you right now. Anyone that watches this, whether you're here with me live or you watch it on the replay, in this moment, I'm coaching you, and it is my mission for you to get to the point where you get excited to get on calls with people who need your help, and that you come onto these calls knowing, right, that there's an opportunity here for you to help one more person, and that in order for you to do that, they need to be willing to work with you, partner with you, and you have to be able to be paid for your services and make money. And you're so excited that there's a person that has identified themselves as needing exactly what you offer, that is the dominant energy in the call, and that any fear of ickiness or pushiness or salesiness goes away, because that's not even an issue, because you just know that in order for you to help that person, they're going to be investing and forming a partnership with you. Just like you invest and pay money for many of the services, many of the things that you know that you need, desire, or want in order to have the business that you have, or the life that you have, or the health that you have, or even just the enjoyment and happiness that you have. So think about all of the things that you invest in, and think about how someone else gets to make that same kind of investment in themselves if they were working with you. So number 2, another reason why you may be getting no's, or why any of us would get a no on our call, could be that you're using a done-for-you script. Now, I went to a coaching school that provided us with discovery call or consultation scripts. And I know that that's out there. I know that there are even business coaches out there who say, I'll give you everything. I'll give you scripts. You can use my exact script for creating clients. Well, I'm here to tell you that if you're using a done for you script, that could be. I'm not going to say that it never works for anyone, but it could be why you're getting no's on your calls. So if you are using a done for you script and you're ready to ditch the script, then go ahead and put ditch the script in the comments. I know how many, I work with clients who come to me never having delivered a discovery call or a consult without a script. And what happens, it becomes a crutch. And I'll talk more about why it's so important for you not to use a script in a little bit. So that's another reason why it could be. I'm not saying that it is the reason, but it could be. Another reason why you could be getting no's on your calls or objections on your calls is if you don't have full belief in the value of your services or your offer. So if you are not in 100% full belief in your services and in your offer, no one else is going to be in 100% belief of it either. So if you are coming into your calls and you haven't done all of the work that you need to do to believe in your services, in that there are people out there who want your services, that your offer is worth someone investing in, then when you get on your calls, that lack of belief is going to come through, and no one else is going to believe in your services or what you have to offer either. And I know for a fact that many, again, heart-centered, service-oriented coaches, creatives, healers, helpers come into their calls feeling a lack of confidence, especially if you don't have any proof or evidence yet of the value, meaning you haven't already made a couple of thousands of dollars or whatever your measuring stick is about like what will let you know that like you are worth it. So Sharon says that she believes in her services. So Sharon, that is amazing. And yes, customers are worth it. I totally agree. So again, it's not that you necessarily have all of these things that I'm listing, but it's different for everyone. And I wanted to kind of cover a lot of the bases. Another reason why you may be getting no's on your calls is if you are coming from a scarcity or what I call legacy of lack mindset. Now, a lot of times when you're starting out, entrepreneur, coach, service provider, you've made a big shift or transition or change, right? Maybe you left a job. Maybe you're starting this business because this is what you believe is going to be the thing that is going to change everything for you. You're finally going to be doing what you want to do. You're following your passion. And there's a tremendous amount of stress that you have about generating income and revenue. You need to provide for your family. You need to pay your bills. You need to pay your rent. You need to earn. And when it's not happening yet, there's this point that I call there are squeeze points that we experience in our businesses where we're not having certain results yet, and yet we have to have certain mindsets or we have to be able to take certain actions, even though the fact that we're not getting certain results or outcomes yet can have an effect or an impact on the way that we feel or on our confidence or our belief in ourselves. And when we are experiencing a money mindset that is not in a great place, when we are feeling the anxiety, the stress, the desperation to need a client, and we bring that energy into our calls, that is going to impact the call. That could result in a no. And there are many of these things, but I'm going to give you one more for today. One of the biggest reasons that I see coaches getting, or creatives, service providers getting no's on their discovery calls or consults is a lack of clarity. And that clarity is around the problem that you solve, the real problems that you help people with, not the kind of problems the way that we can describe them as coaches and healers that get really, really kind of woo and esoteric, but the real tangible problems that your ideal clients are experiencing on a daily basis, the real tangible outcomes that you help people to get while you're working with them. Again, not the big picture outcomes of like freedom and feeling amazing about themselves, but what really happens during the time of your work together that makes those bigger things possible, as well as, and this is the most important one, clarity on how you can describe your signature system or process. One of the biggest mistakes I see people making, I'm going to keep repeating it, coaches, creatives, service-oriented entrepreneurs, thought leaders, is describing their services, meaning their time, how many calls it is, how many handouts you get, all of those little logistics, we'll call it logistics and tools, instead of the unique expert process that you have created to help people get from where they are to where they want to be. So your signature system and process, which is not the details of your program, like how long it is and how many calls or how many hours or how many, services are included. So Rochelle is saying the pain of a loss of a loved one. Rochelle, if you would like, I would love for you to elaborate on that in the comments. Are you describing that is the pain that your clients, that your ideal client is experiencing, that you help them with? And if so, do you feel confident that you can describe in at least 3 different ways how the pain of a loss of a loved one shows up in your ideal client's everyday life in such a way that it's a problem that they need to solve? Because the pain of a loss of a loved one, the way you're describing it to me, and I know you're not describing everything to me right now, is a really big emotional problem. And I don't know what you do yet, but I'd love to engage with you in the comments if you want to. In order for someone usually to invest in services that are a little more esoteric, right? We need to be able to talk with them about how this pain, I'll use you for an example of the loss of a loved one, is having a negative impact on their daily life and what problems are coming up for them because of it, and what would they like instead. And that's some of the clarity that I'm talking to you about, as well as how you help them and how you can describe the process through which you help them, which is your signature process. And so many of the individuals that I talk to and work with don't have that clarity yet. And that's a big reason why they get no's on their calls, because at the end of the day, they get to the time to make the offer and say, okay, so this is how I can help you. And what they end up describing is a couple of calls, right? Like, you're going to get this many calls and this much time, and then we're going to just get together and I'm going to help you. And that's not enough for someone else's brain to give them the green light to make a significant investment in working with another individual to get an outcome that is a little bit intangible, right? So what to do? What do you need in order to go from what I just said? If you're having any of these issues, if you're having any of these possible reasons that you're getting no's on your calls, what do you need to do instead? Well, number one, your mindset is everything. When you come into your discovery calls, in order to get yeses on your calls, your mindset, your belief in your services, right? Your belief that you can help people, your belief that there are individuals out there who will pay for your services and who can afford your services, right? Remember, I can't afford it is just a big generic umbrella blanket term for a million other objections. It's just an easy thing for someone to say. I can't afford it does not always mean that that person literally doesn't have enough money in the bank. It means I'm choosing not to spend my money on this right now at this time. And the reason why someone may make that decision is because you haven't helped them in your call to get to the place where they really are feeling the urgency to solve the problem that they're having. And if they're not having a problem that's urgent, that could be a reason that they're not saying yes anyway. But if they are having a problem that needs solving, their brain will keep keeping them from getting the solution because they haven't gotten it yet until you help them get to the point where they're connecting so deeply with the reason that they need the help that they will say yes. But number one, the thing that you need to work on is your mindset. And so, like I said, believing and holding the vision that you are amazing at what you do, that your services are worth it, that there are people out there who need you. Your mindset going into your calls, I mentioned the money mindset before, is critical and key. So that's some inner work, and that's work that must be done. And for anyone who is a successful entrepreneur, we have to do that mindset work every single day. Every single day. It is so easy to be vulnerable to self-doubt, to imposter syndrome, to compare and despair, to feeling defeated, to looking for what's not going well instead of looking at all of the things that you are getting right, that are going exactly the way they should be. Knowing how to affirm yourself, knowing how to believe that you're exactly where you're meant to be. This is mindset work that every one of us that wants to be successful in anything, in any area of our lives, in our businesses, needs to do. So if you're not doing mindset work, and I'm not saying only for your discovery calls, I mean to be able to show up, live to your fullest potential, and believe in yourself, your success, and that you can create everything that you want to achieve, the mindset work is critical. Okay? I see you, Rochelle. I'm going to wrap up because I get a 30-minute slot here, and I will answer comments afterwards. Number two, in your calls, you must be able to create emotional connection and rapport with your client. If you are using a script, your ability to do that goes down by 75%. Showing up to your calls with curiosity and being present is so important because your job on your calls is to help your client emotionally connect to the reason why they need to solve their problem right now. Your job, and it's not being like manipulative or sleazy, it's that people don't walk around being emotionally connected all the time. Our brains are wired to keep us thinking like, you know what, I'm not going to solve that problem. That would be really hard. That would be too that would be too disruptive. I'm just going to live with this problem. It's okay. That's the way our brains are wired. Your job when you get on a call with an individual who is there because they're recognizing that they need some sort of service, help, transformation, guidance, healing. They need more help to be more successful. There's a reason they're on the call with you. It's because something has been keeping them from being able to get where they want to go. And part of that is that their brain has not yet fully given a green light that it's important enough to solve that problem. And that is your job on the call, is to guide them and help them to connect so deeply to the why this is important that by the time you tell them what you can help them do, they're so connected that they're already a yes. And number three, the third thing that I'm sharing with you today is that you need to know what you're there to sell. And you're not there to sell those services, like I said before, those logistics, your time, how many calls it is, all of the bells and whistles. You're there to sell someone getting the outcome that they desire. And the way that you sell it to them is by sharing with them that passionate offer, which is not the logistics. It's you being able to describe in the sexiest, I'm going to use that word, way possible, how you help your clients get from where they are. And I'm not talking about the tools. I'm not saying that you outline to them all the sessions and all the things. I'm saying you need to know what your signature system is. And if you've never really clarified that and developed it where you feel like you have the most amazing offer in the world, then you must work on that. You must work on that. So here's the thing. I gave you some of the bigger picture things that you need to do in order to get yeses on your calls. But here's my question to you. Would you like guidance in how to structure these calls and implement everything that I just shared with you? Or I'm going to really teach you literally what the structure of a successful discovery call is. And if that is you and you would like to join me, I am teaching a 3-part masterclass in September. It starts next week on Wednesday the 8th, called Getting to the Yes. And in this 3-part masterclass, I am going to be taking everything that I shared with you today and literally teaching you a structure, a strategy that you can use for yourself to prepare and then to deliver powerful calls that convert. So if that is of interest to you and you would like to sign up, this is a totally free masterclass, then I'd like for you to put yes in the comments, a big capital YES. I'm going to drop the link to this masterclass in here after this video ends, which is going to be in 1 minute. And I can also send it to you in a message, but here's what it is. The link is my name, staceybrass-russell.com/getting to the yes. I'm going to put it in the comments here, but I am offering you a free 3-part masterclass where I'm going to take a lot of what I shared with you today and go deeper, break it down, and make it possible for you to go into your discovery calls, your consults, confidently, with clarity, and with a non-scripted structure, so that you can ditch the script but have total confidence that you know how to guide the call, that you know where the call needs to go, and how to end up making a passionate offer at the end of that call to a person who is ready to find out exactly what they need to do in order to work with you. And this is not yucky, icky, salesy, pushy, manipulative. This is you getting empowered to go out into the world and have conversations with people that need you and confidently offer your services to them because you know that you can help them get what they want in order for them to be more successful. And that is what we are all hoping to do, is be successful in our lives and businesses by doing the work that we know that we're meant to do, by showing up to do our passionate work. And for all of us, everyone that's watching this or that works with me or that wants to work with me or that comes to all of my free content, that I offer a lot of it, is so that we can help other people to be more successful. And successful means to heal, to transform, to have better businesses, to have better lives, to be healthier, to feel better in the world, to feel better in them, in their bodies, in their minds, and as who they are. And so we all want that. All boats rise with the tide, right? So that's what I have for you today. For those of you, Sharon, Rochelle, who were here with me live and commenting, thank you so much for giving me some time on your Sunday. I'm going to drop the link to the workshop in the comments here. It is totally free, everyone. It's a free masterclass. It's taking place on 3 dates, September 8th, 15th, and 21st, for an hour each. Replays are available. My classes are interactive. When they're not on Facebook and they're on Zoom, we can see each other. You can ask me questions. They're high vibration, and I can't wait to share this with any of you from Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs that are able to come. Have a beautiful Sunday. Thank you so much for being with me. I hope that I'll connect with you after this, and I'm gonna say bye. Bye, Rochelle. Bye, Sharon.